The summer of 1887 baked the Montana plains to dust. For Eleanor Vance, the heat was within, a secret flame she had carried in silence for 7 long years. It belonged to Jacob Mitchell, a rancher whose hands were marked by hard work and whose eyes held the warm hue of aged bourbon. He had pulled her from a rushing river when she was 18, and from that moment her heart had been his. Yet she had never spoken a word of it, bound by the invisible chains of propriety and the vast social divide between a merchant's daughter and a man who worked the land. Her quiet world fractured when her father, his face ashen with worry, gathered the family in their parlor. Debts, he explained, had coiled around their livelihood like a strangling vine. Their salvation lay in St. Louis, in the form of Arthur Caldwell, a man of considerable wealth and reputation. He had agreed to settle all debts in exchange for Eleanor's hand in marriage. "It must be done, Ellie," her father pleaded, his voice trembling, "or we lose everything." The words were a death sentence to her hidden hopes. Torn between the duty she owed, her family, and the desire that had sustained her for years, Eleanor felt her spirit splinter. She wandered to the outskirts of town that evening, drawn to the distant silhouette of Jacob's homestead as if by a magnetic pull. He found her there, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of fire. "You look lost, Eleanor Vance," he said, his voice a low rumble she felt in her bones. The dam broke. Under the vast, darkening sky, her 7-year secret spilled out every cherished glance, every silent prayer, the love that had grown roots deep in her soul. Jacob's weathered face shifted from surprise to a profound, aching tenderness. He took her work-roughened hands in his own. "All this time," he whispered, his thumb tracing her knuckles, "I thought I was just a dusty rancher dreaming of a star. I've loved you just as long, Eleanor." For one glorious week, they stole moments. Brief meetings by the old cottonwood, hushed conversations full of plans and promises. Jacob vowed to find a way to match Arthur Caldwell's offer, though they both knew the sum was impossible. Their dreams were built on sand, and the tide was coming in. The night before Arthur's arrival, Eleanor's mother came to her room. She placed a gentle hand on her daughter's cheek. "Child, I see the storm in your eyes. I once had a Jacob," she confessed softly. "But duty is a hard path we are often called to walk. Think not just of your heart, but of your father's health, your sister's future. Love does not put bread on the table." Her words, spoken in love, were the final weight that tipped the scale. Heart shattered but resolve firm, Eleanor met Arthur Caldwell at the stagecoach. He was not a cruel man. Tall, polished, with kind but unfamiliar eyes. He spoke of fine galleries in St. Louis and opera houses, a world of sterile comfort. The wedding was set for 3 days hence. Eleanor moved through them like a ghost, her future a vast empty prairie of obligation. On the eve of the ceremony, as she packed her belongings, her fingers brushed the simple wool shawl Jacob had given her for her birthday years before. The scent of hay and honest sweat still clung to it. A wild, desperate courage suddenly flooded her veins. She could not do it. She would not. Under the cover of a moonless night, Eleanor slipped from her window with nothing but the clothes on her, back in the shawl around her shoulders. She ran, not toward something, but away from the gilded cage, her heart pounding a frantic rhythm of fear and freedom. She reached Jacob's land as the first hint of dawn tinged the horizon. He was already on his porch, as if waiting, a solitary figure looking out at the land. When he saw her, disheveled and breathless, his expression shifted from worry to a dawn of its own. She did not need to speak. He simply opened his arms, and she flew into them, the solid strength of him an anchor after a storm. "They will call you ruined," he murmured into her hair. "Let them," she said, her voice firm for the first time. "My riches are here." They were married at first light by a traveling preacher in a simple wooden chapel. As they exchanged vows, the door burst open. Her father stood there, face flushed from riding, with Arthur Caldwell beside him, looking more confused than angry. Eleanor stepped forward, gripping Jacob's hand like a lifeline. "Father, my choice is made. I love him. I have always loved him. Forgive me, but I cannot be the price paid for our security." Arthur Caldwell studied them. The defiant woman, the protective rancher, the raw, true love that filled the humble room. He slowly removed his hat. "I did not come west to claim an unwilling heart," he said, his voice thoughtful. He turned to Eleanor's father. "The debt will be settled as a wedding gift. Consider it an investment in a love that is evidently more durable than any business arrangement." Stunned silence gave way to tearful reconciliation. The forgiveness in her father's eyes was the final piece of peace Eleanor needed. Life on the ranch was not one of St. Louis luxury. It was rising before the sun, hands chapped from work and weathering droughts. But every evening, as Eleanor and Jacob sat on their porch watching the endless sky bleed into night, she knew the richness of her life. His calloused fingers would lace with hers, and he would press a kiss to her temple, a silent testament to a promise kept. Her choice had not been between duty and desire, but between living a lie and building a truth. She had chosen the truth, built it with her own hands alongside the man who held her heart. And under the wide Montana sky, that truth was more than enough. It was everything.